you are so focused on how are you promoting to the industry, what the results are, how are you in front of them, how are you making your presence known, how are you sharing the success.
I obviously spend a lot of time teaching business owners the art of the promotion. I take a lot of time and a lot of energy to teach that first P of promotion. And then owners, as they grow their business and they get into profit, then they create the process. And then from process, they start adding people to it. A lot of times as they start to have challenges in their business, I go back and I ask them questions. And I realize that as they grow, do you see this trend where they start forgetting the thing that got them there in the first place? I see owners that'll abort the promote the minute they start adding people. Is that something that you see in business owners? And is that a reminder to go back and reassess your Ps as you're building your business?
Here's the thing. As soon as you start promoting, selling your business, you should already be more into promoting your business, because a buyer is going to come in and see the current engagement with your business. They're going to look at the current engagement with your own people. Think about this, everybody. Future predictability based on historical results is how things get valued. Mm-hmm. If there's a risk of loss in the valuation process, like loss of revenues or loss of people or loss of customers, they're going to devalue you. They're going to pull back and they're going to wrap a bunch of the purchase price into how well you perform after they buy you. Well, most business owners are like, I wouldn't sell if I wanted to perform greater than before I sold.
Right.
So you understand that the predicament, the dichotomy in the transaction. No buyer wants to buy a turd.
There you have it, folks. No buyer wants to buy a turd.
If you haven't secured your people, if you haven't secured your clients, if you haven't got your contract and secured your revenue sources, then you're going to be in big trouble.
And also showing up at those strategic meetings. I think one thing from a behind the scenes that I remember so vividly was, yes, this business was operating and the processes and the people were moving, but as the business owner, you were so focused on how are you promoting to the industry, what the results are, how are you in front of them, how are you making your presence known, how are you sharing the success. And a lot of times in the day-to-day, those things, those meetings or those conferences that you go to other people might not seem like they're important, but they are some of the most strategic things that you can be doing. And that is promotion as the business owner. And you can't forget that that is your singular role. Brandon is constantly thinking, he will take meetings. I'm like, why are you doing that? That seems ridiculous. Why do we care about this or this? And it's because of this bigger lens that he is always looking through, which is promotion into these different sectors or these different industries that we could vertically integrate into, and just being able to share that story. So as the process and the people get deeper and deeper as your organization grows, your primary role, to go back to your question, Buck, of how important is the promote never stops to be important, ever. And you can't abdicate it to anybody else.
Oh man, that is the number one thing business owners say when they come to the Marketing Essentials Workshop. They're like, I'm going to hire someone to come promote because I don't want to. And they always try to abdicate it to somebody else.
I want to go through the stats. So there's 31.5 million small to mid-sized businesses in the United States, 31.5 million. 25 million of those have a single employee, which is founder. 5.3 million have between 2 and 12, 600, 1.8% have over 12 employees. So when we talk about this promote thing, could you imagine going to work for a business owner who wasn't so excited about what they're doing that they were unwilling to promote it because they wanted to hire somebody else to promote their business? And the reason this is important to think about if this is your first time is because of all those 31.5 million small to mid-sized businesses, 2/3 will fail cyclically every 5 years. Why? Because the owner is unwilling to promote. The data shows that where there's a lack of commitment to promotion and creativity, you will have a lack of success. So Michael Gerber talks about 70% of all businesses were started by technicians who are technically good at whatever they started their business with. But where that technician is good and provides a great product, where they're unwilling to stand behind the promote, they will fail. So this is something I want everybody to understand. You'll never hire anybody to promote more than you as the business owner are willing to promote, because the law of the lid, John Maxwell talks about the lid, a cap. 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. First law of the lid says you'll never attract anybody into your sphere of influence that's at a higher lid than you. So if you want to know why your business struggles, is because you as the owner are the lid. So if you're not promoting, if you're not out there rocking, if you're not pushing, if you're not convicted, if you don't go out and sell it all day long, why, who, what, how, the impact you create. If you're unwilling to do that, you will not find anybody else in your organization and do more of it than you're willing to do yourself, which is why 2/3 of all businesses fail, because we know the chief 3 complaints for why they say they fail. Complaint number 1 is nobody wants my product or service. Chief complaint number 2 is can't find any good people to help me. So they blame their employees for something they're unwilling to do. And third is can't get financing. Well, no moron's going to give somebody money that can't prove there's a demand for the product or service for the business they started and can find anybody who can articulate that and actually transact business. The stats prove what my business partner says. Where there's no promotion, there's no creativity or commitment.